Adoption Wisdom had watched my previous video on how you could speed up the timeline when editing and move from one part to another by using the J, K, and L keys. And they have preset speeds, 2, 4, all the way up to 30 times normal speed. But she wanted to customize the speed movement to, for example, 1.5, and asked if there's a way to do that. There's not, but here are some alternative steps to moving around on a timeline. In this video, then, we will discuss alternatives to moving quickly on the timeline. First, we will review how you quickly move using the shortcut keys J, K, and L. Then we'll talk about changing the speed by scaling the timeline. Next, we'll discuss a little bit about markers. And then we'll talk about the shortcut keystrokes for markers. And we'll then discuss how you can jump from clip to clip. And then we'll talk about markers and their attributes. Just so we're all clear about what we're talking about moving, while we're editing, moving on the timeline to review things or perhaps finding another location on the timeline. And by hitting J or L on the keyboard, we can move the playhead either forward or backward. And if we press K, then we would stop the motion. And J and L can be keyed multiple times to speed it up. You click it once, you get the standard speed. You click it twice, you get twice speed. And click it 3 times, it's 4, and so on, all the way up to 32 times the speed. So let's just do that here. We click it once, and we can see it's moving slowly. If we watch up here, click it again, we can see we're now moving twice, 4 times the speed, 6 times the speed, 8 times the speed, 16, and finally 32. We press K to stop, and we use J to move backwards. Now we're moving backwards at 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 16, and 32. So this is what we're talking about. And the question is, could you change the speed rather than twice to set it, for example, 1.5? No, these are preset speeds. You cannot change that preset speed to some other speed in the presets. But what I can change is the zoom level. So if I'm in the general area where I want to work on this project or whatever, and I could zoom in. Now when I press L, it appears to move faster. And if I zoom all the way in, L really moves fast. So this is a way that I can, by adjusting the zoom level, in essence, I'm adjusting the speed at which it moves. It's not going to move more quickly from here over to here. It's going to take the same amount of time. But generally, you're going to know where you're at, and you're probably just trying to zoom in on something, and the double speed is just too fast and the single speed is too slow. But by zooming in and being in the general area, you can do it quite easily. So that would be the next way to do it. Another option that you have is to place markers on the either on the video clip or on the timeline itself. And these markers can then be used to quickly get back to an area. So as you're scrubbing through the timeline and you say, oh, okay, I want to be right here about where this is because I'm going to cut this out. If I don't have anything selected on the timeline, then type M, I'm going to get a marker right there. And that marker can be gotten back to that exact location. The marker can be moved in case it's not on the exact frame, but it allows you to get over to some other location where you might say, okay, I want to cut this now here, and I'm going to go back to here and cut it here. I have now accomplished what I needed to do, and I didn't need to scan back and forth looking for a particular spot. Of course, there may be times when you don't want the marker. You want the marker to indicate your exact spot. It no longer indicates the same spot because we deleted something down here. So if you want to place a marker on a particular video strip so that it doesn't get moved around, make sure that it's selected and simply press M. And this puts the marker right down here. And here's probably something that you've seen with this. Whenever you click this all the time, this symbol changes on the cutting tool. This is actually used to move up and down. Let's say that it's sitting here for whatever reason, and you place a marker and you go, I can't see the marker. Well, move your cutting tool out of the way on the playhead, and then the marker will become visible. In any case, this is a quick way to move from point A to point B. We can quickly click on here or click on here. Now, if you prefer to use keyboard shortcuts, of course, there's a way to move from here to here. And if you want to know all of the various different shortcuts, click on File, go to Keyboard Shortcuts, and then go down to the View section. And here's a whole section of different moves that you can make. And if you want to move from one marker to the next marker, go Shift up or Shift down. So if you hold down those combination keys, you would move between the markers. So here we will use Shift up and Shift down. And so we're using our keyboard shortcuts. So if you use markers on the timeline, this can be a much quicker way to get back. So if you know there's an area that you're looking for approximately there, then use that. Now there's much more you can do with the markers, but before I get into that, let me just show you something else that I prefer. Let's say that you have something selected here and you want to quickly move to that part. The shortcut keys are Shift Home and Shift N. So if you hold down the Shift key and press Home, you will move to the very first frame of that clip. But let's say you want to move to the end of it. If you use Shift End, you are actually one frame beyond the end of the clip. Okay, it's a continuation of the same video clip, so we don't really see it. I should have taken a better transition shot. Maybe right here, we'll do here Shift End, and here we can see we're back. We're right exactly at where we want to insert the next thing or whatever it is we want to cut out. So Shift Home, Shift End, and playing Home and End sends you to the end of the project or to the beginning of the project. So there's lots of keyboard shortcuts for everything that you're doing. There's many more tips about moving around, but I'm not going to get into more about that. I think this summarizes the fact that there are keyboard shortcuts to move around. There are ways to put markers on the timeline. I just wanted to get into the markers a little bit more. If you right-click on them, you can modify the markers. You can have all these different colors that you, if you want to choose, and you can give it a name and a description. But if we just give it a name, like, okay, I'm just going to say test, and we've done another color. So now we have a marker, and without clicking on anything, we can quickly scan this and we can see, okay, this is the thing I wanted to get back to, not this thing. And by clicking on it, of course, we get there. So you can modify the markers to indicate different things. But let's say that you're scrubbing through your timeline and you have a series of clips that you want to put together, or you want to group them as something. And we already know that everything that we put on the timeline has a different color, so we can quickly differentiate it from one thing or another, whether it's a video clip or whether it's a title or whether it's a picture or whatever it is. But here's another thing that we can do. Let's just select 3 arbitrary things here. We'll just select these, but let's just say that we've scrubbed through there and we want these to be grouped together. We want to handle them as one thing. So we can right click on this and we can assign them a specific color. In this case, let's just give it this goofy color right here. We can now, there is a shortcut key here, and so the shortcut key is Alt-Shift, and this is not apostrophe, it's the whatever it is, reverse apostrophe, I think, below the tilde mark on the keyboard. But anyway, those 3 keystrokes will allow you to select them. But if you're not a whiz with the keyboard, you can also simply just click on them. Now we've selected them, and you see that when we move them, we have now grouped them together, or we can just drop them at another location and group them. But let's just say that oh yeah, we want these to appear together and we want them to be at this part of the project. We've now done that in one quick, easy move. Okay, that was a poor demonstration because I started with all of them selected. The point of it is you've scrubbed through your project, you've identified pictures or videos that you'd like to group together for whatever. So you've changed the color of them either one at a time or all of them at the same time. You select them, whatever. The point is you go ahead and select one, and then you go ahead and right click on that, and now you can just go down and select all clips with the same color. And you can also do it with the shortcut. So we'll do it this way first, and you can see we selected all three. We'll unselect them, and let's do it again. We will select this one. We will use the shortcut keys, and that's Alt, Shift, and the opposite of apostrophe. And there we go. It selects all three of them. And once that's done, of course, then you can move them as a group. Okay, that's all I'm going to address today. I just wanted to say that there are more ways to move around the timeline than either just manually scrubbing it or using the preset L and J keys in order to move the playhead to another location. Remember that you have markers. Remember that you can use the arrow keys to move left and right by holding them down, and you can speed up that motion by zooming in or zooming out. Use markers to indicate both on the video clips or on the timeline where you have something that you want to use them. Modify the markers. Use the color designation to color your selection a unique color so that you can select by the color and group them all together or move them over in another location.